What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we're doing a series of videos on Representative Larson doing a Q&A. So this is a digital or like a phone town hall, and he's basically answering questions of the people who are calling in. So I think this is really good when it comes to Social Security. He has been at the forefront, and I think he's done a really good job of explaining how we can provide reform for Social Security, not only reform, but an increase of Social Security benefits. So I want to take a look and a listen to some of the Q&A that he had in this town hall. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so here's Representative Larson answering some more questions. Here we go.
Thank you, Congressman. Next question, also submitted online by Barbara. Barbara asks, what is the current status of the budget bill?
Well, thank you, Barbara, for that question. Right now, the reconciliation bill, or as I like to call it, they call it MAG, I said, Make America Greedy Again, is in the Senate. Now, I say that tongue-in-cheek, but when you consider that 70% of that budget goes to the 70% of the tax cuts goes to the nation's wealthiest 1%, at a time when, frankly, they really don't need it. Instead, it should be distributed, as Democrats have suggested, to people under $400,000 so that they can assist and help themselves. Unfortunately, what we've seen on text so far is that this issue is getting worse. The House bill will result in 16 million Americans losing their health insurance. The text the Senate came out with has even more Medicaid cuts. We're still waiting on numbers, meaning all this is going to be decided over the next couple of weeks because Donald Trump has given them a deadline of July the 1st to make sure they get what he calls the big, beautiful bill passed. We're still waiting on numbers of what that means for residents on Medicaid, but it will very likely be more than 16 million. We're also learning even more about the cost. A new analysis from CBO came out yesterday that said when you factor in the damage that the bill does to the economy, it's going to cost even more money than previously thought. We need everyone to continue to not only speak up. There were rallies all across the country this past weekend. And we need everybody to speak up and get it out there that it's not right that we're bankrupting the country so that millionaires can get an $89,000 tax cut while Americans go hungry and lose their health insurance. Yes, there's a thread of truth to the fact that they say, oh, no, we're providing everybody with a tax cut. And, well, indeed, they are for some. But while the millionaire gets $89,000, the person making $50,000 or less gets 72 cents a day. That's what we like to call disparity that needs to be changed and reversed so that people that are in the greatest need are getting the money they need to survive.
Okay, so that was Representative Larson talking about this big, beautiful bill. Now, we've talked about this several times. I've done several videos on this topic. And when it comes down to this big, beautiful bill, yes, most of the benefits are going to help the wealthy, just like they did in 2017 when they passed the tax cuts. And what they want to do is they want to take those same tax cuts from 2017 and they want to make them permanent. So this is permanently going to help the wealthy. Now, when it comes to the working class, the middle class, the poor, guess what? They're going to have some tax breaks for them. And you heard Representative Larson say, what was it, 72 cents or something per day or something, that's what the benefit would be for the average person making less than 50,000. But even on top of that, when we're looking at some of these tax cuts, they are temporary. The child tax credit they're talking about, that's going to be temporary, 3 years. When it comes to the no tax on tips, that's going to be temporary, 3 years. When it comes to the no tax on overtime, 3 years. When it comes to the tax deduction, the $6,000 tax deduction for people 65 and older, it's going to be 3 years. So after that 3 years, you're not going to have anything. But the wealthy will still be getting their tax break because it will be permanent. And so can you see where there's a problem with the way that they're doing this? And I would say, look, if you want to do this temporary for 3 years, that's fine. Make it across the board. The 2017 tax cuts, make them for 3 years, and then make everything else for 3 years. And then in 3 years, when when it's close to them sunsetting, then you can reevaluate this whole situation. What they want to do is they want to make that permanent, the 2017 tax cuts permanent, and that is going to add, this whole bill is going to add about $2.4 trillion to our national debt over a 10-year span. And that's a problem because a lot of these same politicians that were talking about, oh, we can't spend, we can't keep spending, we're running up our national debt, this is going to be passed on to our children. They're talking about running up the national debt by a number of about $2.4 trillion. That's a problem because how can you say that 2 years ago, but now you don't care? And so when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, they love to spend money. Okay, I don't care. Republicans can say, no, we want to be conservative with money and we shouldn't be spending all this money. But when they have the power and they have the opportunity to pass a reconciliation bill, what do? They create this spending bill and they add to the national debt. And then they don't even talk about it. They don't even talk about the fact that they're adding to the national debt. You don't hear that. You don't hear that coming from them. They ran up the national debt with the 2017 tax cuts. And so, this is a huge problem because we're looking, we have so much stuff going on right now, but we're looking at our national debt increase, and it will continue to increase because politicians like to spend money. And we're looking at the potential of a broader conflict in the Middle East, which is going to cost more money. We're looking at an economy that's shaky right now with tariffs and all this different talk. We could drop into a recession. There's so much going on. Social Security right now needs to be reformed. They still haven't addressed that. And so there's so much stuff out there that's going on. And it's just sad that we have politicians that are focused on this reconciliation bill, and they want to get it done by July 4th. And they want to spend all, they basically, and they also want to raise the debt ceiling. I didn't even talk about that. The debt ceiling, the House passed the bill with the debt ceiling of $4 trillion. Guess what? The Senate said, 4,000, that's not enough. Let's raise the debt ceiling to $5 trillion. And if you guys don't understand how the debt limit works, basically, let's say you have a credit card. Let's say you have a spending problem. You have a credit card and you spend too much on your credit card and you run it up every year. Well, what they want to do is they want to raise your credit limit. Raise your credit limit from $4 trillion, or just say $4,000 to $5,000. That's what they want to do. You're spending too much money. You're spending more money than you actually have. And so you're adding to your debt. And what does your credit card company say? Oh, we're going to raise your limit up to $5,000 so you can spend even more. That's what they want to do with the big, beautiful bill. That's a part of it, raising the debt ceiling. And so there's a lot to talk about when it comes to politicians making bad decisions. This is a bad decision, especially when we're looking at the situation that's going on in the Middle East. Do we really want to pass a big bill, big spending bill right before that because we might need some more funding for the Middle East? Because we might be in a situation where this conflict broadens. And if it broadens, that's going to be a lot more money we're going to spend in the conflict. So I want to know what you guys think about all this. So let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.